A lot of people use lanolin underneath their vices, and it's just super water resistant. It won't wash away. Extreme pressure grease, that's another good one. It won't wash away. It handles the weight of the water laying onto it, and the water will not run that extreme pressure oil or grease away. That's the only thing that I can really think of that's being a real major contributor to the vice, or the tabletop being as well as good as clean as it is allowing that coolant to do what it's intended to do, which is provide protection. After after you get done, it leaves that protective film. Now I will come in here and treat these the ways of the vise. I'll come in here and put some whey oil in there and run the vise up, and then put some on the backside and try to pick it up to get the vise floating on that whey oil so that it's not got any water left underneath of it. Because if you let that thing sit with that coolant underneath of it, it will rust underneath of there. In a short period of time, it will show up some rust, some stains and whatnot, and start showing up on your vice ways. So I just put a little bit of, if I want to leave it all week, I'll put a little bit of whey oil on the vice ways so that they don't rust. That helps out quite a bit. But yeah, that's the only thing that I'm doing is just cleaning those chips off. It's a little bit of a deal, but it keeps your machine in good shape. It's worth it. Spending a little extra time cleaning things up, keeping things nice. Now, Sam uses hoses in his ways to keep his ways clear, which is all well and good. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to clean them out. And I tried some silicone. I actually cut some silicone, 1/4 inch thick silicone, and I was using that to keep the waves from filling up the chips, and it worked great. But the only problem with it was I was having trouble with rust showing up where that stuff, the water will go down in there, but the oil won't, because the water's heavier than the oil, and it'll run that oil or that protectant, it'll run it right out from underneath of there, and all that's left underneath of there then is just pure water under there trapped in that silicone. And wherever the silicone made contact with the cast iron, there'd be rust. So I had to quit using that. I can't. It was just adding more work. The way this is, all I got to do is wash the chips out. Before, I had to take all the silicone out, put a layer of oil down there, and then put all the silicone back, and that was just way too much of an ordeal for me. So I just did away with the silicone and I just cleaned the daggone T-slots out. I'm gonna see if I can get me back in the day they had what's called a T-slot cleaner. And you just run that dude down in those T-slots. You stick it in and turn it so that it fills up the slot, and then you just rake all that stuff out. once you get it, you had to clean out most of it, you know, before, and then you get you a spot cleaned out pretty decent, and you stick it in there, and then you run the rest of it right on out. And they work really well. It's old school. You don't see them very much anymore. You don't hardly see them at all on CNC machines, but a lot of the old school shops, they got them hanging all over next to their machines and stuff. And you just run it down in there and turn it sideways and run them chips right out of there. You had these machines, they don't have the big T-slots in them like the bigger machines do, so you had to kind of custom make them so that they'll fit in there. These are 7/16 or 3/8. You had to make it for like a 3/8 slot. These measure out somewhere in the neighborhood of 7/16. They're metric. So they're not a 1/2 inch slot. 3/8 is about, 3/8 works pretty good. So you can see, I just wash it down, and I don't get it all out. I mean, get as much of it out as I can. You can see I get it pretty clean. And now this stuff, if you let it lay here and dry, it will it'll leave like a little film behind on it. Once I get it this far along, I got old nasty rag, and I'll just go here and just dry up most of it. Just get the bulk of it off so that it's not laying on the table and evaporating. Just go in here and just kind of mop it out a little bit. And that gets some of those chips out as well. The machine is not perfectly clean. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, anybody that uses flood coolant and they tell you that they don't have any rust whatsoever, I have a lot of trouble believing that, because I don't care how careful you are, how particular you are, you're gonna get some amount of rust from running flood coolant. If you run Cool Mist, I did for about a year, and I tell you, it might be wonderful for what it's intended for, which is, you know, spray air, super cooled air. It creates super cooled air by having a certain amount of moisture in the air due to evaporation, and then whatever lubricant is in the actual coolant mixture is left behind, sprayed on the surface for the tool. Is a wonderful concept, but and I'm sure it works fine for people that machine that way, and they're gonna clean their stuff up immediately after they get done. But I've seen it stain stuff before you ever get it out of the jaws of the vise. Before you're ever even done machining the thing, it's already got stains on it. And I'm sure it's got something to do with the pH level, but it's almost impossible to keep that stuff from staining your parts. I used it for a year, and I had a lot of trouble with parts getting stained up. I switched over to this stuff here, and it's a difference in night and day in protecting the parts. and protecting the table. It does a fantastic job protecting the table, cleaning the table up. But you got to get those chips out of there so that protection can be provided after it evaporates. That's basically all I do, guys, right there. That's ready to sit now all week. And one reason why I use this old nasty rag is because I can wring it out and all my coolant goes back down in the reservoir, and I don't lose all this coolant laying around, just don't evaporate away. I just wring this rag right back out in there, and it goes right down on back into the coolant reservoir. So, and I just sweep all these chips up, get them out of the way, and try to conserve that coolant as much as possible. Small enough machine, it's not that big of a job. So I won't do it today because I'm gonna machine some other stuff today, but I just thought I would show how much I cleaned up every time I got done working on something. Tried to make sure I cleaned up my mess. It's worth it to save the machine. That's all I do, guys. I'm not polishing it behind everybody's back. But if I do get a rust spot, I will polish it out. I'll clean it off so that it doesn't keep continuously getting worse and worse and worse. And I promise you, there's some underneath of this vise. I guarantee you, it's not going to surprise me if I pick that up and there's rust underneath of there. Not one bit is it going to surprise me, because I expect it. I'm not going to stop it. Somebody might, but I'm not. I've tried everything. I haven't tried lanolin yet, and I think my buddy Sam has some spray that he's supposed to try out and see how it does. Not sure exactly what that is, but he's supposed to try it out and see how it works and let me know what he finds out. He's in the middle of switching all his stuff around. He struck upon a fantastic adventure. So maybe when he gets it running again, he'll incorporate the spray and he'll let us know how well his spray option works out. But anyway, that's pretty much what I do to keep the table pretty good shape. You can see it, rag wiped out most all of the chips that were left behind. And whatever little bit of coolant you see down in the bottom of those T-slots, the water will evaporate out of there, and when the water's all gone, there won't be nothing left but the lubrication that's provided for the tool, and it will dry, or it will be up there protecting that surface, and it won't rust. I don't have any rust when I come back to it. It's just like it is right now. It might be a little like hazy or whatever because of the film that's left behind, but I can take all I got to do is just wipe it off, and it's just right back bright shiny like it is now. But that's pretty much it, guys. I just thought I'd share that, being as whoever's watching my videos might look down in the comment area and they might see Sam's little comment about polishing behind everybody's back. I'm not polishing behind everybody's back. I'm just trying to let the coolant do the job that it's intended to do, and it just needs a little help. Just clean out all the chips and keep those chips from pushing that protectant off of the surface. Okay guys, that's pretty much it. That'll be the end of this one. Thanks for watching.